Welcome to my Living an Embraceable Life workshop. Before we even get started, I want to clarify exactly what I mean when I say an embraceable life. To me, an embraceable life is one full of fun and adventure, meaning, connection, creativity, environmental stewardship, and feeling really good. In this second of the 4 videos, and this is the second of 4 videos in this class. And whether you're grieving the loss of a loved one like me, or you are an aspiring, slow-living, creative recycling environmentalist ready to take control and prioritize change in your life, this, my dear, this is the place to be inspired and stay connected. The place where you can create change using simple, supportive, and nurturing habits with big impact on your quality of life. Learn the power to erase self-doubt, find motivation, and be inspired to move past self-sabotaging procrastination. Get empowered to prioritize you, all while learning ways to walk gently on our planet and feel like part of the solution to our environmental crisis rather than part of the problem. Did you know that just a quick 20-minute session of positive learning with a podcast, book, or class can greatly help to shift your self-doubts into optimism and into thinking constructively about your challenges? That is what I'm here for, to remind you that we are capable of finding solutions and joy in the face of whatever comes our way. In this video, you will learn how to capture lost time so you can refocus on your path to an embraceable life and think constructively about your biggest challenges. But first, I want to introduce myself. I am Crispina Ffrench. I am a founder of the used clothing recycling craft genre, a screen print artist, an outdoor enthusiast, lifelong creative environmentalist, a mom, wife, sister, aunt, friend, and coach. There's so many roles and I love them all, just so you know. I've been coaching entrepreneurs and teaching empowerment through creative textile recycling for over 25 years. But I put together this mini-series to answer your questions about how I got started in business and how I get and stay inspired and engaged, and how to be an environmental steward addressing our global crisis, all while finding joy and staying positive. Now, if you missed the first video in this series, you should go check it out because I covered 5 foundations for embraceable living, which sets you at the trailhead of living an inspired, healthy, and meaningful life. And if you haven't seen that video yet, go watch it right now. There's a link to it on this page, and then come back for this second video. I'll still be here waiting for you. So now, in this video, I'm going to show you 3 easy life habits to make free time in your day that can help you have time to focus on our 5 foundations. I'm also going to show you how to get started identifying goals that later we can break down into attainable daily tasks that get results and build momentum. We are going to be covering a lot of ground today, so be sure to download the Embraceable Living Workbook on this page and then follow along and take notes. You might want to hit pause now and go get yourself set up to take notes. Okay, so there's a reason you are here watching this video. Maybe you suffer from procrastination, low self-worth, lack of focus, or poor time management. Are you feeling like your life is out of control with priorities you don't love that take up all your time? Is your life chaotic and the lack of order causing you stress? Or maybe it's just a whole lot simpler for you. Are you looking for a way to connect with others who share your environmental concern? A way to tap into your creativity and find joy? There's never been a better time to make a positive life course correction. Here is the place that you can identify your passions, your goals, and your obstacles. Today, you can start moving past the limitations you have in your life to all that you desire. Maybe you already know that my sweet 26-year-old son, Ben, passed away just a couple of months ago on July 30th. I have been blogging about his heart condition, our adventures together, and my grieving process, and you can read all about that at crispina.com/blog. No matter how prepared I thought I was to experience his death, it has been more difficult than I could have imagined. This mini-series, called Living an Embraceable Life, started out as a really personal toolbox for my healing, actually designed to help me process my loss. While compiling my lessons and formulating new routines and rituals to support my healing, it dawned on me that my work actually answered your questions of motivation, staying engaged, and building momentum too. The win-win comes as I use the workshop curriculum to push myself deep into self-care and managing this grief head on. I am seeing this as a beautiful opportunity to support each other as we move into the most woke, tuned in, turned on chapters of our lives yet. Are you seeing that too? Now, I've coached hundreds of entrepreneurs for over 25 years, and I've watched literally thousands of lives change in my retreats. I turned my own life right around to the really good place that it is today, but that was many years ago now. But this chapter is all new. Living life in the wake of the death of a child, the birth of a child, a marriage, a divorce, adjusting to a new job or job loss, or other deep desire or big change puts us on a whole new path. Initially, the newness might feel solitary, dark, and frightening, but as days pass, opportunities to see our path as a gift present themselves. I am really excited to call upon all the skills I have gathered and honed and put them to good use in collaboration with you. We all have shit to process, and I'm loving the idea of doing that with you. Together we can be accountable and take baby steps in the direction of our goals. Are you with me? I want to tell you a story about my son. When Ben was just 2.5 years old, I thought he had yet another terrible cold. But by the end of the week, we had been to 3 hospitals and landed in the cardiac ICU at Boston Children's Hospital. I was told Ben's life expectancy was 4. It was Mother's Day, 1995. Sudden death was listed as the most common symptom of Ben's cardiomyopathy diagnosis. Understandably, this was seen by many as a terrible tragedy, a nightmare. After the initial heartbreaking shock and grief, I opted to see his life situation as a blessing. I knew that each day of his life was truly a gift, and that for this reason we did whatever we wanted whenever we could. We went to music festivals, long beach days, far-flung travel adventures, ski trips, campouts, backstage passes, dancing in the rain. We did it all. I think back to strangers telling me when he was a kid, "Oh my God, just wait until he's a teenager." All us parents have heard it. But in my head, I knew that putting things off meant that they might never happen. And that is what this video is all about. It's about taking what might initially be seen as something terrible and finding the blessing or making the blessing in it. It's about not waiting. It's about building strong, loving, realistic relationships that nurture and support what is going on right this minute because it might be the only one you've got. It's about letting go of fear and deeply living without it. And it's about spending your precious, precious time doing things that support and nurture you, like tapping into your creativity, taking daily walks, planting a garden, learning a new skill, starting a business, reading a book, drinking a beer with friends, or whatever guides you to your best life experience. This, my dear, is your embraceable life. Now, the 2 most common things I've seen as obstacles brought to my attention are the age-old time and money. We've all heard it. So I've addressed both of these for you here. First off, this workshop is free, and it is designed to set you well on a path over, around, and beyond your obstacles. And secondly, to address the time issue, I have put together a very easy 3-step guide to building free time into your everyday. This is pretty simple stuff, but culturally we are being pulled away from our more important work by ever more powerful distractions. Here are 3 easy things to put us back in control of how we spend our time. 1. Schedule your social media time. 2. Turn off the news. 3. Charge your cell phone outside of your bedroom. First, schedule your social media time. Did you know that the more we use social media, the less happy we seem to be? One study found that Facebook use was linked to both less moment-to-moment happiness and less life satisfaction. Do you find yourself aimlessly scrolling through pictures of like your elementary school's best friend's summer campout? Do you find yourself comparing your life to the ones on social media? Did you know that Facebook depression is an actual diagnosis? If you are like me and use social media for work, accountability, and to stay in touch with faraway friends, there is value in that. So ask yourself, how do you benefit from participating in social media? Then ask yourself, how much time does it take to accomplish that benefit, and be reasonable. Once you have an ideal amount of time that you want to commit to participating in social media, put it on your calendar for a month and stick to it and see how it feels. Journal about any changes, struggles, or contentment. As a web-based entrepreneur, I spend 1 workday a week and then 30 minutes daily focused on maintaining all aspects of my social media presence. Did you know that the most recent data I could find from 2018 says that the average internet using adult spends 136 minutes a day on social media? That is 2.25 hours a day, over 15 hours weekly, and that's just social media and does not include all the other ways we use our screens. Are you like me and have never considered how much time we waste on social media? Before I started to track the use of my time, I would chalk all those hours spent on social media up to work and often get distracted for long stretches of time, scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. And now when I catch myself doing that, I just stop. That brings us to our second time capture. Turn off the news. You may find today's news broadcasts are negative and biased and likely to make you feel sadder and more fearful. They are also likely to exacerbate your own personal worries and anxieties. Stop for a second and consider if the news is helpful or beneficial to you. Have you noticed that no matter which news source you choose, slanted views designed to build divisiveness, discourse, and fear are what we hear? Do you feel like your inability to do everything ultimately prevents you from doing anything at all about all the awful things we read and hear about in the media? You can stop the negativity and distraction of mass media by simply turning off the news. We gain control, feel less stressed, our mood improves, and our time is redistributed to nurturing things in one simple act of disconnection. Turning off the news is not an excuse to not participate in community and government. Turning off the news encourages in-person discussion and reading. It decreases discourse and increases neighborly connection and participation in local government. So now our third time capture. Charge your cell phone outside your bedroom. Did you know that your cell phone is the single most distracting invention in human history? If you were like me, you remember clearly having more free time, better conversations, less interruptions, and more intentional interaction before we had them. It is by design that humans are wired to respond to every distracting detail, from the pretty colors and illuminated screen to a false sense of connection and security. The highest paid engineers and developers in the world are nose to the grindstone, toiling diligently to make our phones more and more integrated, consuming, and distracting. Not only are our phones super distracting, the effects of cell phone radiation are serious enough to merit a warning from the World Health Organization. Charging your phone at night away from your bedroom allows calm to be restored to that space and keeps our bodies away from harmful electromagnetic radiation. This simple act improves sleep quality, focus, increases relaxation, and does wonders if you are in an intimate relationship that has been usurped by dueling cell phones. Being aware and mindful of how we spend our time awakens a surge of relief and calm, decreases chaos, and increases organization. We do have time to do the things we love. The supportive, nurturing, fun things that we have been feeling estranged from can fit on our calendars. So now that it is clear that money and time are not able to hold us back, let's talk about establishing goals. Journaling is the key to identifying goals and obstacles. Like we touched upon in the first video, a daily writing practice has been proven to boost your mood, enhance your sense of well-being, reduce symptoms of depression, anxiety, and fear. In addition, journaling improves your working memory, develops better communication, and has been proven to help propel you toward your goals. You may find a commitment to journaling just 5 minutes a day builds clarity so that you can identify goals and obstacles, release negativity, and get organized. Do you know you would like to initiate change in your life, but you don't know where to begin? Or maybe you are well on your way to experiencing your best life with lots of momentum and fun. Either way, journaling is the key for helping clarify your thoughts, goals, and obstacles, establishing your desires, and helping you work through frustrations and pain points. Don't be afraid to document your wildest dreams in a journal. Go all in. Don't hold anything back. Dream big. Once you have your biggest goals documented, you can begin breaking them down into chunks and then smaller chunks and then into attainable daily tasks. Start with journaling for just 5 minutes each day for the next 7 days. You will find daily prompts posted on my Facebook page to help you get started. If you are like me, you might want to allow for an expanding journaling practice once you get going. Set yourself up for success by making journaling on-ramps. You have a pen you like to write with and a blank book and a comfortable place to set up for your daily documentation. Before you start writing, read your previous day's entry and summarize or highlight the meaningful content and date your entries. You might be thinking, I'm not a great writer, or I don't know where to begin, or I don't even know what the heck my life goals are. Well, is it hard for you to treat yourself to the time it takes to flesh out ideas about your best life? Once you get started, you will see that making journaling a daily practice adds well-being to your days. That is far more valuable than the few minutes the practice consumed. Don't worry about neatness, grammar, or if it makes sense. Just write. Get your thoughts on paper, stick with it, and you will find clarity. Set a timer and do it every day for a solid week, and check the prompts on my Facebook page. Okay, we have covered a huge amount of ground in this video. Take a deep breath. You're doing great. You don't need to do all of it, and you certainly don't need to know all of it. It is most important that you are kind to yourself and allow yourself the room you need to make this practice work in your life. This video is all about freeing your time and establishing a journaling practice. While I am committed to my daily practice, I didn't start there. It took time to craft a practice that works for me. Just know that you are able to control the use of your time to serve you. Start small and just be consistent. A lot of people have been asking me about how I stay motivated, the trick to getting started with and then sticking to new life habits. Great news for you. These are 2 super common concerns that are covered in my next video. Now I want to hear from you. What action are you going to take to get started? Let me know in the comments below or post a comment on my Facebook page under this image.